Welcome to another episode of Marketing for Your Boring Business, helping your message get seen in a cluttered newsfeed. And welcome to 2018. I hope everyone had a fantastic holiday and is just pumped for today's show, which is all about setting goals for your marketing in 2018. I am joined today by Derric Haynie, who is the CEO of Vulpine Interactive, a social media marketing agency that helps build contagious brands and passionate fans. He's regularly seen speaking and blogging about growth and digital marketing in San Diego, San Francisco, and across the universe, according to Derric. And one of the fun things that I got to experience from Derric before we went live today is he has a super cute puppy that he loves to cart around in a stroller. So that's the life, guys. That's the life. So welcome to the show today, Derric.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, if you can pull it off, I highly recommend getting pushed around in a stroller all day long.
Yeah, my children would agree with you. She were being carried everywhere. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Derric. So, let's just kind of get started. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about like you and how you became this goal-setting, junkie for businesses?
Well, actually, it's funny. I was interviewed on the Founder podcast. I was like a user that they kind of picked out of the crowd. And one of the things that they did was they brought a mentor in. His name is Matthew something. It escapes me. But it's Nathan Chan, the Founder podcast host, his mentor. And what he gave me essentially a goal pyramid to fill out for my business. And this was 3 years ago or something like that. And it really helped me dissect a major goal, a 12-month goal, into smaller chunks and figure out how I could quarterly kind of tackle these things. And then they fold up into larger activities, that fold up into larger activities, that fold up into actually theoretically achieving my ultimate goal. So it's kind of like the process of unpacking a goal and then tackling it day after day, because we're trying to achieve a lot of great things and it's not going to happen overnight. So thinking about how you can chip away at it, really that opened up my eyes to some of it. But I think for me, the real truth about goal tracking is that as an agency owner, if you want to keep your job, you want to keep your clients, you have to make sure that everybody's aligned on what the actual goal is. They have to agree to it. And then we have to hit that goal, or they're going to say, you failed me. This isn't what I wanted, et cetera, et cetera. And they'll still say those things. Even if you hit the goal, they'll be like, I did this all on my own. You were no help. I wanted something else, even though we agreed on it. They'll still find a way. But if we have great clients, which hopefully we're all working with great clients, then yeah, we agree on the goals so that we can, execute towards them.
Yes, and I definitely know that what it's like from the agency standpoint of making sure that the goal is set clear and the expectations are set clear when working with new clients, whether it's other agencies or, my boring businesses that we specifically try to target. So let's just start, I guess, off kind of basic. For 2018, what do you think is important for the goal of 2018? Like, what do you think is how do we get started with figuring out what our goal is and setting it?
It's got to be different for everyone in every business. Most people are going to focus on revenue as a goal, like increasing revenue numbers, increasing clients, increasing leads, especially if you're just in marketing and your job is to, get more impressions or brand awareness or followers on your social accounts and stuff like that. But what I would caution you against is making your you can have a revenue goal, but revenue follows value. And it actually doesn't work the other way around. So you can't just say, I'm going to make more money and that'll provide more value. Actually, if you provide more value, you'll make more money. So Sean Ellis, the godfather of growth hacking, wrote a great book with a guy named Morgan Brown called Hacking Growth. And in this, one of the first things we're supposed to do as a company is identify our North Star metric. So I know it sounds like a buzzword, but it's actually really important. It's a value metric that you believe if this metric goes up, my business will make more revenue. So instead of focusing on getting revenue to go up, we focus on getting this metric to go up. For Facebook, that's daily active users. They know that if they have more daily active users, that their that they will probably make more money. For LinkedIn, it was actually connections made. So it wasn't daily active users, because LinkedIn doesn't care about daily feeds. They care about how many connections each individual has. And so they structure all of the goals inside product development and marketing to help facilitate connections, whereas Facebook structures all of their activities inside product and marketing to get people to come back and be daily active users. And then for like company like Airbnb, it was nights booked. For Dropbox, it's like gigabytes of storage being used. And so you can see how we might find this value metric in our business. And once we have that, then we can start to really shoot for a specific number goal.
Awesome. So for our boring businesses, I'm sure that it's about finding out what you can, I guess, educate or edutain for people to get them to join in, get the people that you want to join in your online world to do that. So maybe it'll be things like, a free download or a coupon or things like that. Is that what I'm understanding what you're saying?
So it's even more than that. So well, that might be like a leverage point for finding more of our value metric, but that's actually, I would say that's completely focused in, let's say, the way that you described it, in the acquisition side of growth, which there's multiple ways a business can grow. Actually, there's only three ways that a business can grow. You can increase your lifetime value, you can increase your margin or you can increase the number of customers you have. So those are only three ways a business can grow. But then from a funnel standpoint, I always think about it from the AARRR funnel, which is acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. So revenue directly assigned to our North Star metric. Let's just say one of like our North Star metrics, or one of the ones that we say in our agency, is social following under our control. And another one is ad spend, for like basically total ad spend. Well, let's just say social following under our control. We know if that number goes up by 10 million next year, we'll make probably another $50,000 a month or something like that, right? Because the more social following we control, the more impressions we're going to have on the world, which means the more value we're providing to our clients, which probably means the more revenue we will have as a company. So how do I increase that social following under my control? I can get a new client. I can grow existing clients. I can and I can use 100 different tools and tactics to do that. So that's what you're talking about. It's like one specific tactic to possibly grow that lever point, but there's millions of ways that we could figure out true growth.
Awesome. So once we've identified what our value goal is and our objective for our goal, then what's next?
So I suppose, let's say for 2018, the next part will be to unpack this goal into bite-sized chunks. What does it look like? So if we're going to, the revenue number is like double revenue or increase revenue by 25%. The value number is grow our North Star metric by 25%, whatever that is. So let's say in my case, social following client accounts by 25%. So we might have some ideas of what that looks like. Maybe in my case, that would be maybe I need to grow my sales team, and that will help me get more, close more client accounts faster, and thus grow my business. And then on the flip side, we have the raw growth of existing client accounts, which might mean improving strategies or on-channel growth within all of our existing client companies. And so these are now the two big tasks that I face for 2018, right? And so, those two tasks, I believe if I can accomplish both of them, that I will achieve my main goal of actual growth. So from those two tasks, we can dish them out into a lot of smaller tasks, right? We can already see how those are still very high level. We don't have a lot of clarity on how we're going to get there or what that might look like. So with the sales team, obviously it's like, okay, well, I need to hire a head of sales. I need to create a sales process. I need a funnel. I need documentation. So that's 4 things right there. We can put those into 4 separate goal boxes, and we can try and tackle them one by one over the course of the next couple of months. So I know that if I get this done, this done, and this done, I'm now ready to hire my salesperson. That salesperson will help drive business growth if I did it right. Because hiring is a pain in the butt and it's really, really tough. And I'm accomplishing all sales goals and objectives leading back to business growth. And we could do the same kind of extraction on the other side, but I think that the point of it is continuously unpacking each goal into smaller bite-sized chunks, and also even setting deadlines for what it's going to look like. I need to have my documentation done by January 31st. I need to have interviewed 10 candidates by February 28th. I will have to narrow that down to 3 by March 15th, and I'm going to hire by March 31st. So that might be what it looks like. I don't know. This is kind of made up because I'm not actually going to hire a salesperson anytime soon. I'm the salesperson.
Well, it's actually a conversation for anybody looking to figure out, one, a salesperson, but like the process for, okay, I have this big goal, and then here are the sub categories or goals to make the big goal happen. And then, let's dissect each one of those individual subs into tasks with, of course, you said you hit something so important on the nose too, which was setting a deadline. And I love that because, it's like a goal without a deadline is just a dream kind of idea. So good words, good information, good share there. So what are maybe some of your tips or strategies for making sure that you are accomplishing your goals, staying on track and staying accountable for them? Because I know for me personally, one of the things I struggle with goals is I set them and I give myself quote unquote deadlines. And then if I don't meet those deadlines or those quotas or whatever I'm saying, it doesn't matter. Like there's not like a consequence because it's just me setting them. And if I don't do it, I don't do it. If I do, usually something good happens from it. So, and I know a lot of people get wrapped up in like their day-to-day or working in their business versus working on their business or family distractions. Just a whole lot of life happens. So
tell me about it.
How can us boring small businesses stay on track so that we're not setting the same goal every year?
So the first thing I think I've got 3 things on this. The first one is track, as in tracking, as in if we cannot track something, we cannot improve it. So whatever our goal is, make sure that we have a clearly explained system for tracking the growth. As an advertising agency, if I spend $1 on Facebook and I can't tell you how much revenue that generated, how many leads it got, what the actual KPI, the goal KPI is for that dollar spent, that is $1 completely wasted. So there's no way I can spend $1 without having a clear way of tracking my result from the spend of that dollar. And that should go for any marketing or business activity in any business. So I think a foundation of clear and coherent tracking is really important. And to bring that all the way down to the micro level, this includes being able to track user activity, tracking the acquisition source of your user, tracking how many times users visit your website, and really understanding your customers, your users, your clients. Even if you have one client, it doesn't even matter. Understanding the moving parts of that client, how they came to you, why they stay with you, how you can how you can increase revenue with one client, or how you can find more clients like that one. All those things are really important. That's a little off topic maybe, but tracking user behavior and activity, tracking those KPIs, you have to start there. If you can't track it, you can't improve it. Let's see. So there's 2 more things I said, right? So the second thing is writing down your goals. So I moved houses recently, but at my old place, right behind my computer, I had my goals on the wall. And the funny thing is that probably about 3 months after writing all those goals out, it was like obsolete. It was like I pivoted my business so far that a lot of those goals didn't mean anything to me again. So technically I should have rewritten them, but at the same point or the same time, if I was really good at this, you make me sound like I'm flawless at it. If I was really good at it, I would rewrite them and put them back up on the wall. But at the same time, at least I can see what my goals were, and the trajectory that I was going for, even though my pivot is like, okay, I'm going to still shoot for goals, but they're now over here. So some of these things don't apply anymore to me. So it's okay to write them down. It's okay to pivot or change. But you should have them written down in a place in which you look at them, stare at them every single day. That'll help make sure that you drive forward. And then when you accomplish one of your sub goals or tasks, you can cross it off and you can start seeing yourself move all the way up. Yes, we could do this in a project management system, but humans are, we're very ancient animals, and our innate evolutionary traits, we still resolve things in the physical realm. That's why all these business card apps are going to go under, because people actually prefer physical business cards. And that is why people still print out their Southwest ticket, even though you can just use the app. It's because you need the physical thing. So having this physically in front of you written down, and especially a place where you can see it every day, whether it's on your mirror vanity while you're getting ready, or for me behind the computer, which is like right behind the monitor, that's really important. So that's two. So what we said, tracking, and then we said write it down. And here's the biggest third and most important one. Tell other people about your goals. So I'm going to share a link with you here, and you can push this out to the audience.
We'll put it in the show notes.
Perfect. In March of 2017, we had a kind of a rebranding launch party, and I said, by the end of this year, we're going to have 100K monthly recurring revenue. And I said that publicly in front of 60 people. We're not going to hit that goal, by the way. We haven't hit that goal, since this is taking place at the end of December, but we're showing later. But that's okay. So I fell short of my goal. But just by telling people the growth goal and the ambition of the project allowed me to open connections. But most importantly, as far as hitting the goal, it forced me to stay with growing my business. And like I'm held accountable, even though like technically if I told everyone, hey, I'm selling my company, or I'm done with this, nobody would have said, hey, but you said you were going to make 100K. What the hell? 100K a month. But by just telling people I'm held accountable, they expect me to come back and tell them how I did. And they're interested in my progress. And that leads to all sorts of great things happening, because people might want to do business with me because they see I'm ambitious. They might be able to give me advice. I got tons of great advice, which is worth, thousands of dollars.
It's like the people become invested in your story once you invite them in by just like getting that verbal, like outward projection of yourself. And then it's almost like by them hearing it and acknowledging it, it's almost like they are agreeing to like go on the journey with you, and they become kind of invested in it. So I totally understand that. I have a very good friend, Crystal, who's in the process of selling her pet sitting business, and she's having the existential crisis of, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And I've talked a lot with her, and it's about, and because I'm on that journey with her, she turns to me a lot to help keep her on track for what she wants. Like, she came to me the other day and she's like, I got offered this chance to be part of this big business opportunity today. And I'm like, but if you do this, not only is it incredibly hard and financially draining, but it takes you away from all of the other things that you've been saying you want to do. So by having those people to like rein you back in and help you stay on track for your goals, it's definitely going to be a huge, huge help.
I'm with you. Yeah, I agree.
So, and by the way, if you have a new house, I think that it is the perfect time for a new goals board. So I have all of my stuff like in the corner of my office right now. Mm-hmm. And I have the plan, and I have a day, like I have a whole day set aside to just work through it. And for people that are looking for like a great like goal planning like program, I'm going to include a link in the show notes because we were talking about other podcasts. Amy Porterfield has this fantastic podcast about getting all of your content and plan and everything that ready for the first half of 2018. And I want to make sure that while I wish I had a program that intuitive, I know that her information is incredibly resourceful. So those 3 points that you gave were fantastic. So I guess, do we have anything else that we can like use to make sure that we're making sure these things happen? You know, we've talked a lot about like setting that big goal, dissecting it down, and sort of eating the elephant one bite at a time to make sure that they happen. And then maybe, you know, I love the example of like having your goal clearly written out for you to see and remind you about every day. And I love the tracking. Like I said, you said so many good things, so many great things. And I hope that everybody was taking notes or is going to come back and listen to it so they can make sure that their goals are set up like this. But is there anything else maybe that people are missing or need when it comes to making sure that they're setting and accomplishing their goals for 2018?
I think, I mean, we all need productivity tools and task management, project management systems in place. When, you know, so that of course has to be their infrastructure, process, and procedure. And then of course, I think everybody should always have kind of an open-ended goal of education and self-education. But in order to, yeah, I think just, I don't think there's necessarily anything else that's in place, but looking introspectively when you're setting your goals, making sure that they are big goals but attainable, and then just being okay with and accepting of failure are really the structurally the things that you need to be ready to do. Once you've actually, like, it's very therapeutic to write these things down and kind of publish them to the world. And just the act of doing that, I think, gets people started. You have to, I mean, it's just work. You have to plug away every day. Everyone has to do that in one capacity or another. And we want to work on the things that we're passionate about. So if you're having trouble staying focused on actually chugging away at what's supposed to be getting you towards your goals, that's a different problem altogether, right? That's I can't necessarily solve that or help solve that in a single podcast. But just by having these written out and looking at them, you should be able to see yourself getting closer to them and attaining them. It's going to be 100 roadblocks and, like I said, 100 pivots. Like I have had pivots of my own, and that's okay. Like we just need to pivot our goals and move from there. I would warn everybody that pivoting is a cost. Meaning, if we're getting closer to achieving like this true goal here, then we pivot our whole business and create new goals. If you do that enough times, you just end up going in a big circle. You don't actually get anything done for the whole year. So that'd be the one thing to make sure you're not doing. Pivots need to be getting us closer to true goals. Otherwise, we run out of funding, run out of money, run out of passion, and we never actually accomplish anything on our own. So I'm going to share with you here, this is an older goal pyramid thingy that we did, and so we could throw that in the show notes as well, I suppose. But that could be something that people use to kind of write their goals on. They could print that out. Man, it's so old. It's from a different brand that doesn't even exist anymore.
It's okay. So I think maybe just to wrap up, I think to wrap up our final goal setting, what do you think is a good way to make sure that you're circling back to your goals and reevaluating them and making sure that you're still on track for them, and maybe determine if this goal is still right or wrong, or it needs to be like expanded upon more or taken to the next level?
Yeah, perhaps maybe the thing to suggest is to have an accountability partner, somebody who is a coach or mentor or friend that you trust. And maybe it's reciprocal. Maybe it's like you're paying somebody to help you set this up. But having somebody that you trust be able to review this with you and give their own strategic advice and guidance, as well as, especially if both parties are doing it together, then you can give them your advice. They can give you the advice that most likely you need to hear. And even a lot of those times, it's something that you already know. It's helpful to have another party tell it to you to make sure that you're aligned. So maybe that's the key takeaway of it: accountability partner.
Awesome. Well, I hope that everybody out there is armed and ready for 2018, and that if you need any help with setting your goals for 2018 for your marketing or anything else you're just trying to accomplish, make sure you check out the show notes for the goal pyramid and the other information that we gave you today as well. Thank you so much for being on the show. Derric, can you tell us how we can follow you?
Yeah, I'm on all social media. So actually, you can go to derric.link, basically / any handle, and that'll get you to my social media. So there's my Twitter. You can also email me at derric@vulpineinteractive.agency. I'm happy to chat with anyone about social media marketing, goal setting, viral video creation. I don't know. Anything
He
but
does it all,
sports and
guys.
politics. I'm down to chat.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I wish all of you out there a fantastic 2018. And make sure you subscribe for good vibes and let us know if we're doing a good job. And then also, if you have any questions or, hey, you know what, just send us a quick tweet and let us know what are your goals for 2018. So until next time, guys, I will see you soon.